It's Richard Fortus back again, yet again at CME. I just can't keep away. This is like my 18th time here.
You should just stay here.
I should. If you guys paid well enough, I would.
I'll write HR.
We could. Yep. Anyways, it's good to be back, and I'm here because you guys started carrying Magnatone. So I figured I had to make the trip back.
Thank you. By the way, we are so excited to have these amps here finally.
It's
awesome.
These are the best amps I think being made today. I'm really in love with mine. I have the Twilighter, is what I use on stage. I've been using it for the last couple years, and it's so I've got the big 100-watt Voodoo Marshall thing, and then the little Twilighter, and they're both mic'd up. And the front of house guy says that he uses pretty much, he blends them, and he uses about 70% Magnatone, 30% of the big amp.
That's amazing.
It is amazing, yeah. And I have the same type of split in my ears.
Oh yeah?
And yeah.
So we're talking about, like, with that little band Guns N' Roses that you play with, 70% of that sound, which is huge, by the way, I've seen footage, I've seen you guys live, is that amp, that little thing.
Yeah.
By the way, live these days, I mean, this is essentially the setup then, right? I mean, we're talking, like, in terms of guitar, you
Yeah.
stuff, but you primarily use your
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and then I have a big switching system, so it switches, well, all I switch is overdrive pedals or, you know, whatever pedals I want to kick in and out. Yeah.
Do you use the built-in amazing, historically, like, significant vibrato that these amps have?
I don't use the vibrato live.
I don't know why.
I use it all the time in the studio, but live I have to set it to tremolo because I use tremolo on stuff like November Rain, and so I get that pulsing thing.
Cool.
So that's how I set it. But I love the vibrato.
Yeah.
And I mean, it is something that makes, yeah, it's so lush. I mean, I use it in the studio a lot. I actually use their new stereo amp that they make, and I'll go to 2 different cabinets, and so I get separation and mic it that way.
I think that sounds good. That reminds me of that giant...
The M20, yeah.
that we had of yours here.
Yeah, the unicorn, the Magnatone unicorn. Yeah, those are very rare. That's a phenomenal amp, and that sold to my friend CC Adcock. And that's a monster of an amplifier.
And if I remember correctly, that was something that you could send. It was stereo, wasn't it?
Yes.
One
Yeah,
or the other,
that's right.
And the vibrato.
And it would go back and forth between the two. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
This is rare then, right?
That's a really rare one.
Right.
The M20 was, I mean, I think it retailed for like $1,300 in 66, 65,
Wow.
which was, I mean, that's like, you know, over 10 grand now.
Jesus.
So that's like, no, you don't see many, because
Well, yeah,
they make many, not many people could afford
Well, I was going
them.
to say, yeah, surely not many people could afford them, hence why I guess they didn't sell many or make many.
Right. But they're insanely cool.
Yeah.
They're insanely cool. They're just so, it's a really special amp.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
does something that nothing else does, and that's why I have a lot of amps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that amp is amazing, and you can put stereo effects in front of it, which is really unusual. But yeah, it has this similar type of, it's that same splatty, just in your face, really aggressive sound. Where there's so much definition, it's very three-dimensional. So you're getting a lot of depth to the tone, and that's something that's just unique to Magnatone. It's very hi-fi sounding, these amps.
Yeah, exactly. In fact, it says it right on the front. It says high fidelity.
It does, but it has that, you know, it's got that three-dimensional thing, whereas a lot of times small tweed amps have a very two-dimensional type of tone. You know, it's very sort of flat, and I love that, but this is like, it's just got more depth in the way that a Marshall has more depth.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm noticing is that it reacts really well to the pickups in that guitar are very special. You spend a lot of time
Yes.
getting them to do what they do, and they translate really well on this amp. I mean,
Yeah, you know,
they handle the whole range.
our front of house guy said to me, he's like, man, you found your soul amp. You know, which it's just, he's like, it's just, it fits your voice, you know, it's, which it does. I do really relate to this amp well.
It's awesome, man.
And a really close friend of mine, one of my closest friends, Obed Khan, lives down the block from me, and we're together like all the time when I'm home. And he's the one that designed these. He designed all the new Magnatone line and the M series, which is also phenomenal. In fact, Slash has got one of the M15s, and he's been using it in the studio. He loves it. Yeah, he's really excited about it.
Good amps.
Yeah.
Because these guys have a lot of amps.
A lot of amps. Yeah, and so did, I mean, Jeff Beck was using these, and Neil Young, and who else is using that? Like Billy Gibbons is playing them, and like, yeah, it's pretty incredible lineup. And we, you know, a lot of my friends were hip to the vintage Magnatones, and as you know, I owned a bunch of them. We sold a bunch, and I kept a couple of my vintage ones. Actually, the one that I use the most, vintage-wise, is very, very similar to my Twilighter.
Yeah, they did a really good job, both visually, obviously, and I mean, the vintage thing is still very much alive in these brand new amps, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is the M series it still looks vintage, but it's not like it doesn't look like a Mag. That, to me, that looks like a classic Magnatone.
Yeah, when these first came out, I was like, I think I saw it in a magazine or something. I was like, oh my god, that's the cleanest vintage one I've ever seen. And I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Now, if only they were pink.
Huh.
Yeah.